हरि ओम भास्कराय विद्महे महद्युतिकराय धीमहि तन्नो आदित्यः प्रचोदयात्। भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेमदेवहितं जदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
In this regard, I want to bring two important aspects of Surya. One is our Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri, it consists of Vipadika. You do every morning, every noon, every evening, you do Upasana to Surya, that is known as Gayatri Japa. And Gayatri is therefore known as Tripadika. Tripadi means three padas. The first morning, in the morning we worship Gayatri as Gayatri to control our limbs and all our faculties of the body. And then during the noon, she is worshipped as Savitri. You all heard about the story of Satyavan and Savitri. Savitri, because of her arduous penance, brings back Satyavan from the throes of Yama. And in the evening, we worship Saraswati. Gayatri as Saraswati, again that is to give us knowledge. And then usually he also has, Gayatri has got Panchamukhi, five faces. What are the five faces represent? They are the five pranas. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. He is known as Panchabhutas. He is also the Panchalokas. All kinds of things are worshipped in Saraswati. Therefore, it is a very auspicious day. The other thing about Gayatri is, it is represented in five dalas. Om, Bhurvasvaha, Tatsavitarvarenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. These are the five aspects of Gayatri that we worship during the Gayatri Japa. So, in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan teaches the Dhyana Yoga. And Dhyana Yoga, the first meditation that every brahmachari is given is through Gayatri. He receives the Brahmovadesam from his parents and he starts to Gayatri Upasana until age of 7 and it continues throughout your life. And Gayatri is not only important in this, even Bhagavan feels that it is so important in the 10th chapter. Bhagavan represents, he says, Gayatri Chandasama. When he extols all the important things in life, he says among the Veda mantras, he is none other than Gayatri itself. So Gayatri is a very important thing to us. And Bhagavan, in the 107th chapter of Yuddhakanda, Rama cuts down 108 heads of Ravana, and yet his end is not near. He cut down 108 heads. You can see them practically in front of him. But yet Ravana was not murdered. He was not taken care of. So Agastya comes and says, Tado yuddhavarishrantam samare yudhayastram Ravanam chagado vitva yuddhayasam vastam. He became so pensive and so tired, he doesn't know what to do. At that time Agastya comes to him and he teaches him this Aditya Hridayam. Aditya Hridayam is Aditya, he says, is the heart of all the devatas that you see. Everything has got Aditya in there. Aditya is the ultimate karma yogi. Why? Because every morning he gets up, he comes up and he takes care of his duty, and in the evening he sets. Nobody tells him to come, nobody thanks him anything, and yet he does it. Without the sun, especially in a day like this, you know, you can't live in this earth. Without the sun's heat, you will all be freezing to death now. So it's very important for us, sun god, and he is the ultimate karma yogi, and we worship Aditya in the form of karma yogi. So that is the importance of the Gayatri Mantra Japam. The other thing I want to mention to you is sun. What is the meaning of Gayatri? Does anybody know why we recite Gayatri Mantra Japam? This is Tanno Diyo na Prachodayat. You see, in the beginning of many years ago, the Saptarishis, they started to think about Koti, Aneka Koti Janma. Lots and lots of Jivarasis have come into this world. They are born, they live, they go back, again they are born, and again they live, and again they die. Is there an end to this? This is what they were inquiring about. And as a result, they started to churn the Veda mantras. Just like they read the Amrita Matana, they churned the Veda mantras, and then they came up with these 5 phrases. These phrases are what we call as mantra. Mananat Trayate iti mantra. Say Mananat Trayate iti mantra. Mantra is a bunch of syllables, words or phrases which, when repeated with emotion, they connect you to the Bhagavan. So they connect us to Surya, and what does he do? He just like, for example, Bhagavan is holding the whip. He whips the horses, the Panchendriyas. In the same way, Surya Bhagavan whips us. And then he goads us into thinking about ourselves. Go deep inside, you start to meditate on yourself, and you realize that God is right within you. So that is the idea. The 2 main goals of Bhagavad Gita, we say, is Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. Those are the 2 goals of Bhagavad Gita. What is Brahma Vidya? Brahma Vidya is the knowledge that I don't need anything. I am complete in myself. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnavadachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva Sishyati. We are all complete in ourselves. We don't have any needs or any wants. And yet, what do every human being, when you start with 3-year, 5-year-old, you always start with, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. We don't realize that we are one with God, and that God is right here in your heart. Yeah. Yoga Shastra is do whatever you do, but do it with the thought that it is not you who is the doer. The doer is Bhagavan. He is making you play like a harp. You are the harp in the hands of Bhagavan. You are the puppet in terms of the puppeteer called Krishna. So he makes us do all these things. So may I do whatever I do without the attachment that I am doing it. May he goad us into thinking the truth about Yoga Shastra, that is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is not only offering results to God, also doing whatever you do it with the thought that Bhagavan is making us do it. So may he relieve us from this burden of birth and death. So that is the reason why we do Gayatri, we do Bhagavad Gita, all of these things. So hopefully this morning, by offering our prayers to Surya Bhagavan, we have realized what is the real source of energy in here, not us. We all become tired, just like even Rama became tired. But Bhagavan, Surya Bhagavan, is the one that comes up every day and urges us to be like him, become Karma Yogi like him, do our best we can, put our best foot forward so that we can get rid of this karma and these vasanas. You see that back there, in the chart back of you, Om, that is Bhagavan.
Mata, the mother from which everything else emanates. And if you take the very first mantra in the Rig Veda, Rig Veda is supposed to be the earliest of the Vedas. Well, I mean that we don't keep it that way, but the very first mantra of Rigveda, Agni Mile Purohitam Yajnasya Devam Rutvijam, that starts with Gayatri Chandas. It starts in Gayatri Chandas. So the beginning of the Veda itself is in Gayatri. Gayatri is also a Chandas, Gayatri is the Devata, and Gayatri is the Shakti, Gayatri is the Tejas in the Surya Bhagavan. She is also called Savitri because she is in the Savitra mantra. So Nagayatriya Param Mantram. There is no mantra greater than the Gayatri mantra. And Namatu Paradaivatam. There is no divinity that is greater than one's own mother. There is no other divinity greater than one's own mother. And what to talk of the mother of all the worlds, the Jagannatha. There is no divinity greater than the Jagannatha herself. Nakashya Param Tirtham. There is no other holier place than Kashi. And Na Ekadashya Param Vratam. There is no other religious observance greater than observing the Ekadashi Vratam. That's what the shloka says. So we talked about Gayatri Mantram. Today the relevance is, today as most of you know, today is called Ratha Saptami. Ratha Saptami is a celebration, is an occasion where during the course of the year, the sun is supposed to turn towards the northern direction today. And the days are going to get warmer, which is a very welcome change as Sheshanji said. The days are going to get longer and warmer. So since the Surya Gati is going to change to Uttarayanam, and the actual change is supposed to start happening during Makar Sankranti, and today on the Ratha Saptami day, it is supposed to fully change into the northern direction and Uttarayanam starts. And what that signifies, Uttarayanam has a lot of deeper philosophical meaning in our tradition. Uttarayanam is not just a change in the season or change from the darker days to the brighter days. Uttarayanam has a lot of philosophical meaning. Krishna touches upon it in Bhagavad Gita also. So, in terms of the time, the passing of time, we have this entire year of 365 days and 12 months. For the Devatas, this entire year is supposed to be one single day. One single day for the divinities. And within that day, Ratha Saptami is supposed to be the Suryodaya during that day. So that is when the sunrise is happening. That is called Ratha Saptami. That's when the sun is coming up. And if you look at other significant festivals, they fall within the year, they fall at particular auspicious times that are relevant for those Devi Devatas. And the day before yesterday, on Friday, we celebrated Panchami, right? That is called Vasanta Panchami. Vasanta Panchami is the Panchami that comes in the Vasanta Ritu. That is the beginning of the Vasanta Ritu. Although Vasanta Ritu is still a little far away for us in terms of the time calculation, Vasanta Ritu, there is a sutra in our scriptures that says Maghadhyaha Pancha Vasantaha. You can start counting Vasanta from Magha Masam itself. So from Magha, the 5 months that come afterward are considered as Vasanta Ritu. And because this is coming in the beginning of Magha Masam, this is the Vasanta Panchami. Now, Ratha Saptami is supposed to be the sunrise for the day, right? Then what Vasanta Panchami is considered as is called, this sunrise is called Suryodaya, right? Suryodaya. In Vasanta Panchami is considered as the Arunodaya. You know, the early light that comes into the sky before the sunrise happens. Right? That is called Arunodayam. Arunodayam is when that reddish orange light comes into the sky before the Suryodaya actually happens. We are doing both the functions today, and today being Sunday in the Magha Masam, doing Ratha Saptami is an extremely meritorious way, karma. So that is supposed to be the Arunodayam, and that day Mahasaraswati is worshipped. So just like Surya Bhagavan is worshipped on Ratha Saptami day, Mahasaraswati is worshipped on Vasanta Panchami day, that being the Arunodayam. So what is the link between this Arunodayam and worshipping Mahasaraswati is, the name itself says Panchami, right? Vasanta Panchami. So Panchami is not just the day on which we worship the goddess. She is the Divine Mother. It is not only the day on which we worship the goddess, but the name of the goddess itself is Panchami. That is not the day on which we worship. The goddess herself is called Panchami. If anybody remembers Lalita Sahasranamam, we have Panchami, Panchabhuteshi, Panchasankhyopacharini. So Panchami is one of the names of the Divine Mother herself. So Panchami, Panchabhuteshi. So that is the explanation. What does Panchami mean? She is the Adhishtatri, she is the Adhishtana Devata for all our Panchabhutas. She is the presiding deity for the Panchabhutas. If you see everything pretty much in our scriptures, everything goes in counts of 5. Panchabhutas, Panchendriyas, Panchatanmatras, right? Everything goes in counts of 5. So that's why there is a beautiful mantra in our Vedam that says Pangtam va idagam sarvam. That comes in the Taittiriya Upanishad. It says Pangtam va idagam sarvam. Everything that you see is multiples of 5. So this Panchami Devata, who is the Adhishtatri of our Panchabhutas, is what has spread out. Actually in Sanskrit, Pancha also means spreading out. Pancha, prapancha means, pra means very well, pancha means spread out. Because this world is spread out so well, it is called prapancha. Also the lion is called Panchanana. Panchanana means one which has a very wide face with all the mane and everything. It seems very wide, right? So this Panchami Devata is who has spread out into this entire world, being the Prakriti Swarupini, and who is the Adhishtatri of the Panchabhutas. That is why she is called Panchami, Panchabhuteshi. Then Panchasankhyopacharini. So Upacharini means one who travels, or one who goes on nearby. Upacharini. Charini is to go. Upa means near. Panchasankhyopacharini. She is always near the 5. Means here in this very world, she is there for us to pray. And similarly, we have another name for her. Panchadashakshari. Right? Panchadashakshari is another name for her. And there is a beautiful Kirtana by Muthuswami Dikshita that says Panchashat Peetha Rupini. Right? Panchashat Peetha Rupini. So in that the charanam starts as Panchadasha Akshari Pandya Kumari. So Panchadasha Akshari also means Panchadasha Akshari. Akshari means one who does not ever get destroyed. Ksharam is destruction. Aksharam means to never get destroyed. Akshari means who will stay constantly. Panchadasha Akshari. Dasha means a stage. Pancha is 5. So one who stays constantly there as a witness in the 5 stages is called Panchadasha Akshari. And what are the 5 stages? We all go through 5 stages in our life. That's called Jaranam, right? Being born, growing up, right? Transforming into an adult, then slowly withering, and then finally the body drops off. So that's the peak and drop off in our life. Those are the Panchadashas, the 5 stages in life. But she doesn't have any of those. She is the very witness, as Sheshinji said, she is the Antaratma. She is the Sakshi who is sitting inside and observing, and she is guiding us towards doing all our dharma karyas. So, and what is the relation to Mahasaraswati? So Mahasaraswati in our scriptures is known as Aruna. Sometimes Mahasaraswati, although she is white in color, she is represented as white. In some there are many variations of Saraswati. There is Aruna Saraswati, there is Neela Saraswati. There are many variations of Saraswati. So in some scriptural shlokas, she is known as Aruna. There are a couple of references in Saundar Lahari that Bhagavan Shankaracharya gave that says why Saraswati became Aruna. He gives a very, very humorous and very, very poetic description. When Lalitamba, right, Lalitamba is supposed to be sitting in her darbar, and Saraswati is supposed to be on one side, Mahalakshmi is supposed to be on one side,